Hello, everyone, and welcome into the WSSEA 2025 spring season powered by LandFest. We are just in week one. We've got some exciting Valorant action for you here today. But before we get into all the details, I've got to introduce a legend to my digital left, or digital right, excuse me, that we all know. Logan, how are we doing today, my friend?
I am absolutely fantastic. Hot Sauce, it is always good to be sitting across the proverbial electronic seat from you at the table. Look at you, looking so fresh and so clean with your LandFest shirt on. You got the jacket to match, and you got, you know what? Your hair and facial hair and hair speaks of your personality. When you walk into a room, everybody goes, "That's Hot Sauce," and you're like, "No, that's his actual name. It's Hot Sauce." I'm like,
yeah.
"No, that's hot."
And he's spicy.
It is good to be here with you. This is my first time on WSSEA, the WSSEA, baby, and I'm glad to be here for match number one, week number one. We are out. We are out of preseason, and we are into the runnings, off to the races. We've got some of the big guns back from last year. Kennedy Catholic, they were the state champs. They're back. Burlington Edison, they came in second place. They're back. Rogers, they're back, third place, baby, from last year. And Cedro Woolley, fun name to say, they came in fourth place. They're all back this year. And speaking of coming back, Battleground Western is back. Now, they were unable to make the playoffs last year, but it was tough. First year in, well, they didn't make it. However, they're looking to make a strong run this year. And we've got a brand new team to the scene, baby. It is Prairie High Valorant. Look, they have not been in this league before, but they are state champs in Overwatch 2. So we've got our work cut out for us. Season is ready to begin, and I'm ready to get down like a cloud like Charlie Brown and turn your frown upside down because you've never been on a ride like this before, with a host who can rap and control the maestro and at the same time kick a dope Valorant rhyme. But here we are, right on time, so let's get to it.
My man is straight dropping bars over there. The fire. Sheesh. But you're absolutely right. You know, Battleground looking to start the season off well because they didn't quite make the playoffs. Now, Prairie High School, I did have the pleasure of actually casting their Overwatch championship run last year. And, I mean, if you can shoot in one game, you can surely shoot in the other. So I look to see them popping off here in this one as well. But, you know, throughout these first 2 weeks of the preseason, neither of these teams has dropped a single game. So at some point, one of them is going to have to get a notch in that loss column here today.
Yeah, they were undefeated, but somebody will be defeated as we go on. This will be a best of one. So it is one and done. It is time to put up or shut up, show up or show out, because somebody is going to go in 1-0 into this season, and somebody will be 0-1. And I'll tell you this, Hot Sauce, which would you rather be? It's always 1-0, right?
Always 1-0 if possible. But, you know, sometimes things don't always go our way, and luckily we've got the regular season here. Plenty of opportunities to win games, but before we get into our first game here today, I do want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this awesome broadcast to all of you out there, and, you know, we're fortunate enough to get to showcase all the amazing young talent here in Scholastic Esports. So be sure to tweet out who you think is going to win today's game, and you can always use hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA to show that appreciation when you post.
And please do. Everybody likes to see a good post. Just as much as I do, so do the sponsors. Let them know that you love the video games and the community that they're able to bring to you, because I love to be part of it. Oh, we're dropping into Haven, baby. Yeah. Now, what about this map speaks to you?
So Haven is a 3-site map, so typically it does favor offense a little bit more, whereas in, you know, history, there's a lot of 2-site maps, so teams tend to like to be on that defense. Haven was the #1 picked map throughout all of Valorant when it first came out, then followed by Ascent once it was taken off the map pool. But it's back in the map pool. It's a very fun map. There's a lot of opportunities here, but it can be tough for that defense because there are 3 different sites. So a lot of those resources are spread thin, and it gives the attackers an opportunity to find early picks or trades and give themselves that little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, so normally you would think that maybe Prairie has the advantage here, but like you mentioned, Haven is that map. It's one of those maps that Battleground is going to get a little bit of that extra give and go. What do you need to do to take control of this map if you're Battleground?
Well, I think initially I thought Battleground was going to start out on the defense, so I have to double check because
Yeah.
it does show they're attacking at the moment, and that might just be a visual bug. But honestly, it goes back to really compositions. You have to have some good smokes to block off some of those sight lines. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that we don't see like a Cypher or even a Tejo here at the moment. Tejo is one of the new agents that's just really difficult to deal with, and so, but a lot of times in the Scholastic scene, you see students just kind of picking the agents that they're most comfortable with. And I think
Right.
that's what we see here for both of these teams. Really a comfortability thing. The only thing that worries me a little bit for Prairie is they have 3 duelists, and that's something that you really never see.
Yeah, you know what? That is a little bit odd, but I like you said, they're picking the players that they're or characters that they're most comfortable with and getting in there with that operator. However, is that going to be the game plan? Because we're not playing a best of 3 here. This is one and done. I understand that there's going to be a feeling out period here. There's going to be a little bit of that first game jitters getting into a new season, especially with Prairie coming off of a state championship in Overwatch 2. But we are not playing Overwatch 2 today. We're playing Valorant, so we may see a little bit of those nerves come into play here. But it's up to Battleground as to get in it and to make it happen because Prairie, even though they're defending, I mean, they don't really have to move all that much. They can just play the zone and do their job.
Yeah, just kind of chill and let them walk into the crosshair, so to speak, as we see most of that action on the minimap lingering toward that A site at the moment there. Toxic on that rotation around here as well. And they've already pressured onto the site. Shots continue to ring out. Queen's going to find the first one with the Sheriff here as well. And early success here for Prairie as we do get those names swapped around. It is actually Prairie on attack to start things out.
All right, Prairie doing attack. And Battleground Western Washers, they are defending. And let's see how they do that defensive grind.
Onto the defensive grind here. C6 fought a nice pick onto the Jet as well. And so they have this 3-player advantage. The flash for a bit of intel as Phoenix is able to pick up some Phoenix on Phoenix violence here. And a nice blind from the Gecko will allow them to find 1, but they've got to get through 5. An ace potentially on the cards. And now King going for the knife, but the teammate will find the shot with a Sheriff.
And that is getting it done right there. The attack making it happen. Prairie, coming to the game right now. We did have a little bit of a switch up. So Battleground Western is definitely playing defense, and Prairie is playing offense if you're playing along at home. But what a great show up and show out there. That was a big momentum shift to kick that off for Prairie.
Yeah, and the nice thing about winning that pistol round is usually when you win the pistol round, you win the following round as well. We do see some members from Battleground forcing up, which could lead to some trouble in that later rounds. Typically, if you lose the first round, you completely eco in the second so that you can find that full buy in the third round. So hopefully, they can teeter with that risk a little bit, find some reward, but it's not looking the best at the moment.
Yeah, and you know what? The live phase in this game is so very important. It'll be interesting what strats these teams utilize. And that is a headshot. That's a face smash right there, and that's a kill.
Oh, Pavel's going to find a second one before being traded out by King Kitty here as well. Now Ninja up on top will be spotted. The blind comes in to buy a bit of time here as well. And the plant does go down onto the seaside as Senator Slime finding the double kill and looking for more. Two Slay into the garage. Pops up Peekaboo, TV Toxic waiting for him and right back to a 2v2.
Yeah, they got a head slap there. They didn't see it coming. And here we are getting it done. You got to hit those headshots in Valorant. It is so very important. If you come around that corner and you miss your first shot, you may be down and out in Beverly Hills.
Down and out, but Battleground with that smoke in play here, maybe looking for the ninja defuse as well. Neon is tucked up long. The spray comes in, and they didn't realize that was kind of a one-way there, so they thought they were in that cover of the smoke, but the legs sticking out there. Neon able to capitalize, but honestly for Battleground, it wasn't a bad eco round. They found 4 picks throughout that, leaving only 1 member from Prairie, so they'll start to put a little bit of a damper on that economy at a minimum.
Yeah, you know what? That was a good look for Battleground. They're getting their legs under them, so to speak, and kind of feeling them out. Remember, this is their first time in Valorant this season, and Prairie won a state championship. And like you said, if you can shoot in one game, you can probably shoot in another game. Just the team play is much different in this game, so it'll be interesting to see what Battleground is going to do to defuse Prairie.
Yeah, this is an important round for Battleground as well, as it is their full buy. So it's kind of that first rifle on rifle action here as Prairie stuck on the bonus. Scouts will be spotted by the dog here, and the blind going to come into the back of the site, but Queen Kitty mowing them down will find the 2K all day, and they continue to pop the heads and get the bread as they'll find the plan. And again, it's Battleground at a 3-player disadvantage.
Yeah, somebody let the dogs out. Hoo. Well, Battleground is at the disadvantage right now. They've only got 2 players left, and Prairie only has lost 1. They're in command right now.
1 enemy remaining.
Absolutely in command, and King Kitty will find one more on to Pobble. They continue to find these shots. It's Queen Kitty, with another triple, and so 3 solid rounds in a row here for Prairie. And honestly, they want to find this win as quickly as possible, because we did get some word that I think one of the players has to leave a little bit early here today, might not be able to play that full game. So they're going to need all the rounds that they can get, because that could be an opportunity for Battleground to kind of turn the tide, so to speak.
Yeah, with a player leaving mid-game, I mean, you don't normally see that, but everybody's got a life in IRL, and they've got things they need to do, and parents that need to pick them up, and it'll be interesting to see how the dynamic changes. They need to get in there early and often. And speaking of often, LANFest has over 150 events each year in over 28 states, and if you want to be part of the action, go to landfest.com and get involved in esports today.
Yeah, I love it. I'm rocking my LANFest shirt today. They gave me one of my first opportunities about 6 years ago, and I've enjoyed the journey ever since. But speaking of journeys, we see Prairie back toward this A site. They find that spike plant again with ease. Now, Battleground has some more players to work with, but unfortunately, they're slowly being dissected here in the background.
Yes, they are, and slowly but surely, we're seeing some sneaking. That's the shot. You got to hit it when they pop around that corner. We're talking pixels in Valorant. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes a pixel is all you need. It separates the good from the greats, but Senator Slime with a sliding shot on a dime, and that one just looks fine as they find another there. C6 will wrap it up, and for Prairie High School, not only do they win the round, but they win it flawlessly without losing a single member.
That is a flawless victory! Dun, 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 dun. Yo, Prairie is doing their job right now. Everybody knows what they need to do and where they need to be, and Battleground has not been able to find their feet. They are on the defensive end, in which you had said earlier. Remember, Haven is a little leans towards the defensive side, just a bit. What would you say, like 55% to 45, somewhere around there?
Yeah, on Haven, honestly, at times it's even closer to maybe 70-30 on that attacking favor, just because it is so split. If you 5-man run it down somewhere, you have that 5-on-1 or that 5-on-2 opportunity. So at times it can really favor, and I think that's where the 3 duelists kind of hurts them. If you had a couple more Sentinels to play with, Sentinels are great at kind of slowing down that aggressive push.
Yeah, and you know what? They'll take a look at this and understand that maybe it was not the best strategy to throw out three of the same operators out here, and maybe diversification is good, because remember, variety is the spice of life, and that is another flawless victory. Prairie High School getting it done. They will not be stopped.
Yeah, I don't even know how you slow him down right now. And Senator Slime is a name I recognize from that Overwatch scene. Normally an insane tank, but certainly tanking it up out here as well. Currently 7-0. 7-1 for Queen Kitty and 5-1 for King, not far behind. So for a team that has never been in a Valorant season just yet, of course, their first Valorant season here today, starting today, they are certainly performing very well at the moment.
Yeah, there is no ring rust, if you will. There is no getting caught under the deer in headlights. They are on point right now. And I think it says to probably the practice, and like you said, some of this team has seen each other before in Overwatch. As we've mentioned, obviously a different game, different team dynamics. But team dynamics go beyond gameplay, and they do start with personalities and communication.
Yeah, and speaking of communication, right now we see Prairie kind of making a lot of noise at the ace, but if you looked on the mini-map there, it's 2 that have pushed up C with that spike, so it was really just a great diversion, and now an early plant again for Prairie. Luckily for Battleground, they do have that player advantage. We'll see if they're able to utilize it here.
Well, you're going to need to utilize it, because if you can't win with a player, boom, shot through the face, and you're to blame. Somebody gave your love a hard name right there. Ooh.
Whew, throwing it back to the oldies, but the goldies. And speaking of gold, King Kitty continues to find headshots. Pablo will eventually snuff out that flame, but Clove has that ult, so just needs a kill or an assist to get back in it. Finds one, but the picks come out, and now they're looking for another member, but Prairie's all dead. You just got to defuse here in Battleground. After stumbling a bit in these early rounds, we'll find a way to take this one. And honestly, if you're on that defensive side, I think you want at least 3 rounds, but you're looking to get 4 or 5.
Exactly. You want to keep it somewhere in the clear. I mean, just like Rainbow Six Siege, you never want to go into the turn being too far back because it will come back to haunt you. Battleground, being on the defensive side, they need to pick up these wins because they are on the best side that they're going to find all day long. They have a better chance on the defense. Prairie using this attack to their advantage, 5-1 right now. They are getting it done, and they are very hard to stop right now. I mean, that last round, yeah, it happened. Let's see if they can do it again.
Ooh, plaid stripes go up in the kill feed as everybody gets a little piece of the action, and Battleground will come out on top slightly with that player advantage. King Kitty with the dog looking for a bit of intel. We'll spot Phoenix behind the flame wall as well, and they'll look to slow things down a bit. But Battleground, again, on that minimap, you'll see every agent has rotated toward this A site. So an opportunity for Prairie to rotate away, but they're opted to just kind of run it down at the moment.
Yeah, Prairie's showing that they've got some gumption, and you know what? They will not be put in a corner right now. They're going to allow themselves to play this out on their terms. Will it work? 4v2, we're about to find out.
He said nobody puts baby in the corner.
That's
C6
right.
And the rest of the crew now marching their way through mid. We can see Jet on that minimap coming around, dashing behind on that flank, and I believe they heard that audio cue because we see them both turn around. So I think they know that this flank is coming in.
Woo! And they saw it because they got it. And that's a kill right there. They're going to need to do it 3 more times. It's 2v3 now, much different than 2v4.
Ooh, I heard the Thrasher coming out as well, but I don't think it got any value as Haven and C6 will both find picks of their own. And now after rotating to the B site, C6 is going to opt to leg it back toward the A. Has the help from the smoke there. And that's the nice thing about Clove is one of those agents that can even drop those smokes after death.
And we're waiting for the patient play, and boom. Oh, wow.
Yeah, wingman helping out. That's why he's the wingman. You know, he's always there when you need him. And so for Battlegrounds, again, they're able to find 2 rounds in a row. We always say that, you know, at least 3 is what you want on a map like Haven. Anything extra is going to be nice, but you got to hope that you can do the same thing on offense. And again, luckily for Battleground, if Prairie loses this player once they're on that defensive side, your resources are already spread incredibly thin because you have to spread out 5 agents across 3 sites. So now when you're down to 4, it makes things that much more difficult on the defensive side. So Battleground High School is certainly still very in this game.
Yeah, that was a back-to-back victory by Battleground High School. I said, can they do it again? And they proved me right. They can do it again. Let's see if they got one more in them, because they are going to need that one more before we take this turn. It is currently 5-2 right now. Prairie High School on attack and in command with those 5 wins.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Pablo, they had a good opportunity there to find a couple picks, but just couldn't quite correct that spray. Sometimes it's better to just tap there as well. And now King Kitty posted up in garage, looks to find one, but Haven will get the trade back, and right back to a 3v4 we go.
Tried to pick the corner, did not work out well for them. It is 2v3 right now, 2v1, just like that. Prairie has a chance.
Looking for a chance. Got the blind here from Haven. Not a lot of health here for Clove, but the peak comes at the right time. Timing is everything, and this time it works out in the favor of Queen Kitty as they find another triple kill in this round. And with that, Prairie will go up 6-2 here.
Yeah, making it much harder for Battleground on the other side of this equation. Prairie looking comfortable, looking skilled, looking to be in control of this map. Haven, we're playing right now. Battleground trying to find their feet. They're getting there. They got 2 on the defensive side of the equation, but we expected them to get more than that. So where do we see Battleground? What do they need to work on? And I mean, once we get over to the defensive side, is Prairie going to just run away with this? What does Battleground have to do right here to stop this Prairie?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately right now, I mean, that's a great shot from Scout, and you can count on great shooting to certainly bring things around, but we saw only 3 members finding a buy, so you want to make sure that you save together so that you have you full buy as a whole team. That's going to give yourself the best opportunity, but hey, they're looking to get thrifty here off this scrappy buy. We'll see if they're able to do it.
Yeah, well, you know, only time will tell, as they say. But the buy in this, like I said earlier, is so very important. You have to utilize it and utilize it as a team.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is an equally important aspect of the game. And Scout, though, is on a tear. He's popping heads and getting bread, but King Kitty will snuff that flame out. Another triple kill, this time for King Kitty, not Queen Kitty. But certainly putting in a ton of kills there together. You can see 14 for Queen, 9 for King. Senator C6, both with 8 there as well, knocking in those double-digit kill territory. Now, for Battleground, they are going to have a full buy this round, so they need to use it to the best of their ability.
Yeah, they need to utilize it right now because King Kitty blew their candle out to make theirs brighter. And right now, Prairie High School is in full control, 7-2 right now. I mean, it's just getting harder and harder for Battleground. They need to use their buys right now effectively. Make sure that everybody's got their favorite weapon, their best weapon, their most capable weapon, and put them in a position to win.
See if they can win this round. It starts 1 round at a time. The Stampede onto the B side. King Kitty wasting no time finding Ninja Don. And now Haven's going to have to wait for the smoke to dissipate here as well as 2 begins to ship their way. And the flick of the wrist, he's able to find 1. He can't get the second. He's blinded. He somehow comes away with it. Plat Stripes back in the kill feed, and we got ourselves another 2v3.
Oh, man, he was blinded by sight, but he just had the feel of it, and he got that kill. That's video game IQ right there. Or maybe just a little bit of luck, but I'll take either one.
That's right. Phenomenal situational awareness. A little bit of luck. We'll take whatever we can get. But Scalpel says, I got all the skill, baby. I'm the real deal. He'll pop a couple heads and he'll toss Wingman out to defuse the spike. Battleground will get round number 3. And this is great. This is the minimum amount of rounds we wanted to see them get. Prairie with 7 has solidified a winning half, but there's a lot of times, even in the pro scene, I've seen teams be down 10-2, 9-3, even 11-1 at times, and able to come back because the attacking side on this map is just, it's certainly more favored for that side.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we're going to see exactly what Prairie can do when they flip the script and find them on the other side of the equation. Because Battleground had a hard-fought battle, but they were able to get 3 wins. Is what you wanted to see them do? Well, here we are, 7-3. Let's see if they can continue to fight back, and we'll see where Prairie ends up. Because right now, Prairie's been showing up and showing out just a touch.
Just a touch. Battleground trying to reel it back. Best case scenario is they get 5 in this half. And right now the Stampede from Prairie seems to be heading back toward the A site. They've liked it over here. I feel like they've hit it more than maybe some of the other sites. So I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment.
Yes, it is. And as we go blind...
Whew, toxic, though. The blind wears off. Slatey forgets to look up, and so for TTV Toxic, they'll dodge a bullet, find a kill. But that rotation coming in here from Prairie, and that's one thing Battleground has done. They've rotated very quickly away from their site. So Prairie kind of recognizing that and already beginning to move toward that C site.
I feel like Prairie's the way that they're able, their movement, the way that they're able to just understand that, hey, being in this area isn't benefiting us. Let's find a better way to go about it. That is going to benefit them in the long run here because you can't just keep going at it and expecting different results.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And honestly, you see a couple kills come up in the kill feed, but Prairie Heights may not have ever had a Valorant team in this league, but they've certainly played Valorant before because they've got the skills, but it's all Battleground in this round. It was a great rotation from Prairie, but Battleground did a good job of waiting till all the teammates were in position for that retake. And I mean, what was looking like a tough game now looks very feasible here for Battlegrounds. If they're able to clutch up this last round as well, we could maybe see some of that momentum really begin to shift in their favor.
Yeah, and it is all about momentum, keeping your head in the game and not getting lost in the sauce. Sorry, had to say it. But Battleground, you know, their stick-to-itiveness is great. They haven't lost that fight. They got the dog in the fight, so to speak. And if they can come out of this 7-5, you know what? Prairie High School might want to take a timeout and reevaluate a couple things and really get themselves pumped up before we get back into it. Because you know what? This could go the other way with the momentum if they keep this up.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of mixing up the strategies at least. They'll 5-man it down toward the B site here. Find an early plant, so it'll be up to Battleground to find this retake here again together as a cohesive unit. And they've only got one ultimate here to work with as well. Omen could potentially pop it for a little bit of intel. They spotted two at Gong. Shots ring out, but it's King Kitty to find the first one. Scout. Oh, King Kitty gets another, and Prairie beginning to reel it back in.
And there you go. The Prairie Dogs have attacked. Bark, bark, bark. Let them all out, baby.
Switching
and
sides.
it is 8-4. Moving on out. Prairie High School will not be done. They said we need to win this one right here. We got to put our boot down really hard and say, no, we draw a line in the sand. You're not getting another one. We're not going 7-5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Prairie needed that. Again, this is a very attacking, heavily sided map, and we were kind of informed that there is a potential that Prairie will be losing one of these players at some point in this game. So Prairie looking to wrap it up before that happens because, again, losing a member is tough, but once you're on that defensive side, it's even tougher. We'll see if Battleground is maybe able to take advantage. This pistol round is going to be important for both sides as it kind of helps set the tone of these halves.
Yeah, the pistol side, you got to come out of here with a win. It really does set a tone, and it also puts you in a great position to get that economy going and be able to put yourself in a better place to be able to buy the weapons that you need and keep your opponents without the weapons that they need or want.
No peeking.
Yeah, any advantage is a good one. We'll see how they work out this pistol round. Sheriff in hand for Queen Kitty, who has taken a bit of damage, and it's Haven who will find it off the back of the blind, rocking with the Ghost here. The Ghost with the most, so to speak, drops the molly down, and Senator Slime steps on through. We'll have a little bit of help here in Garage, but we're right back to a 4v4.
Toxic able to get it done. That's some great play. We got the slide in, and they still pop those headshots.
Player standing.
Scout, Haven, both going to find picks here as well. Yeah, not only finding that headshot, but finding it while concussed as well. So you shoot slower. Everything just happens a little bit slower. You really have to hit that headshot. You don't have many opportunities, but a big one there for Battleground. And because they win that pistol round, it makes it easier to force into this next round. And if you're Prairie, you typically want to save here. You want to eco out so you can find that full buy in the third round. But if they opt to force in here and Battleground wins this round, they potentially could put one more on the cards. And we're getting a little bit closer to tying things up.
Yeah, I mean, Battleground is really making a go at it. They said, no, heck no, we won't go. And Prairie's got to find their legs and figure out what they're going to do. I did talk about maybe taking a timeout. I am a firm believer in taking timeouts in esports to get your team back on track and keep your head in the game. It is definitely something that I like to see out of a team, whether it be the coach, captain, whomever's calling it. Sometimes you need just a little moment to catch your breath and take a deep breath and say, woosah.
Yeah, 100% agree. I often say the magic number for me is 3 to 5 rounds. At any point when you lose 3 or 5 rounds in a row, you take that timeout, you talk over the strategy over the next 2 to 3 rounds, and, at a minimum, you look to just slow down a little bit of the momentum of that team that's putting rounds in bunches. Speaking of bunches, Ninja finds a double kill. Scout will get one as King Kitty finds the trade. Toxic Ninja will combine for 2, and a 3K on the day there for Ninja Don as they find another big round. And again, Battleground, it was looking a little bit scuffed to start things off. 5 in a row for Prairie, but now they're just within 2 of tying it up.
Yeah, they are right back in it, and they are in a position to win it if they keep this up. Prairie does not have an answer for Battleground on the attack side as of right now. They're getting a little trounced. They're getting frustrated with what's happening because Battleground is going back to back. And getting their wins. Prairie, take a deep breath. You got this.
Yeah, and because we saw a couple members force in that last round for Prairie, instead of having a full buy here, we've only got 2 full sets of rifles, a couple SMGs, and a Marshall. But it's still something that you can make work. It's just a little bit more of that uphill battle.
Yeah, and if we see one of Prairie High School's team has to go away to play another day, that is going to be a huge handicap for Prairie. And I don't think at this point they will be able to survive the Battleground.
Time will tell, as you said before, and we see an early rotation here from both of these squads. So Prairie is going to sniff this play out. They have an opportunity for a stop here, and For Battleground, they just need to play together. They have the better weapon, so you want to make sure that you don't drop a weapon for free over to your opponents. But it's Queen Kitty who finds that first pick. C6 is going to get another. The spike goes down in the meantime, but the player advantage favoring Prairie.
Yeah, Prairie right now, they've got all the players, and it's up to Battleground to go 1v5. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to go with Prairie might have this. This is going to be a hard-fought battle, and just like that, it's a flawless victory!
No charges.
Man, they are good at these flawless rounds. Time and time again, they win them without dropping a single member. Now, we saw a nice battle back here from Battleground. They just can't allow Prairie to put a bunch of rounds in a row like we saw in that first half. They still got an economy to work with here, a near full set of rifles as well. So they really have to kind of nip this in the bud before it takes off, and hopefully they can find a way to reverse this round around.
Yeah, because they're going to have to win a few more of these in a row if they want to really make a go at this. And they got to stop Prairie from getting the win. They just have to put the kibosh on Prairie right now and really get to what their game is and make Prairie play their game.
See who's just slightly better at that. Dancing around the molly is Jet, working their way into the site here. Pablo in great positioning as Wingman looks to drop the plant. TT Toxic is up top. Unfortunately gets spotted. Queen and King Kitty combined for 2 there apiece. And with that, now the rest begin to fall like dominoes. It's all down to Ninja John in a 1v3. And just like that, Prairie able to wrap it up. So it seemed like both of these teams struggled a little bit to start off in the defensive half. Not as long for Prairie, but Prairie able to turn things around now.
And yeah, now Prairie getting it done. Battleground. Whew. Now it's 10-6, and each time that Prairie wins one, it becomes a little bit harder for Battleground to see that end game for themselves. They are down by 4 games right now. They've got to take this momentum and turn it around to them, because this is the make or break it moment. It's in the next few games right now. Either they stop Prairie and get a go at it, or we start looking at warming up my pipes and I might have to sing.
Yeah, you know, and unfortunately for Battleground, excuse me, they're scrapping back into this round. So we have a Bucky, we have a lot of SMGs as well, and it's not the ideal buy. So if they can turn up that risk and reward here, they could be successful. But Queen Kitty lurking, finds one scout, quick to get the trade though, and so there's a rifle down on the ground. They should be able to upgrade a bit. Haven will get lucky with a Bucky here as well. The blind goes out and they continue to dance around, teetering with disaster here is Too Slady on the other side. The blind not in their favor though, and almost blinded himself, almost put himself in a bad position. The lurk comes in and they'll find a beautiful pick here as well.
That was a great pick, and we got one more. Does he see him in the corner? Spike is planted. Prairie down to 1. It's a 1v2 right now. We're going blind.
Phoenix healing off that wall just a little bit, back up to 100 now and running around with the classic. Not an ideal situation, and they allowed him to isolate these 1v1s. It's not an ideal situation, but luckily Scout will pop out, find the triple kill, and Battleground still in this one, hanging on by a thread, but looking to work their way back as they continue to trudge through the trenches.
Just by the hair of your chinny chin, but they keep getting it done, and I like this never can die attitude from Battleground. They are picking themselves up by the Battleground bootstraps and getting themselves right back in the mix. Never say die attitude. You have to have it. You have to have a strong mental attitude to be really great at esports, especially with the team play, and you got to be able to keep your team in it to win it, and that is all about the mental game and momentum.
Absolutely right. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's all about carrying that momentum forward, and King Kitty really beginning to avalanche with that momentum, finding these headshots. Queen Kitty said, hey, not alone you're not. Let me find one as well. And they continue to battle back and forth amongst themselves for these picks. But Haven was on that run it back, so they get that free extra life here as well.
Yes, they do, but Battleground sitting down, and we're going to see what Pablo has to say about it. I always thought it was Pebble, but it's Pablo.
Yeah, just a little Pebble. It's slightly bigger than a pebble, you know?
Well, yeah, it probably skips really well on water.
We'll see if Pablo can skip their way onto a successful round here, as it does look like the majority of this action now lingering toward that A site. They have a bit of a player advantage because Prairie has to rotate these other 3 members over, but it's hard to get through the Kitty crew as Queen will find a double. Pumps the ultimate. Haven finds one. Queen Kitty has to get an assist or a kill to stay alive and does just that. Prairie able to win an important round, and now they'll just be 1 away from match point.
And that's a back-to-back victory once again. Prairie Dogs, who let the dogs out? Well, the parents did and their coach did. They are so very close to this. They can taste it. It's up to Battleground to put an end to this run and keep Prairie at bay and keep themselves in this match.
Yeah, it's tough, too, because you take a look at the economy, and they are in a bit of an economic bind here, maybe still trying to decide exactly what they want to do, but they're going up against a full set of armor and a full set of rifles here in the hands of Prairie, and right now it looks like they potentially guessed correctly here on the defensive side as well.
And you know what? It is a guessing game sometimes in the beginning, and if you guess correctly, guess what? You may win.
You may just win the flame wall, the blind as well, but it'll step into a firing squad, and Ninja Don will find that one. Should be able to upgrade the weapon there as well. Has to be careful, though. King Kitty on the lurk, and it's just free shooting out there for the King and Queen Kitty squad, as Senator Slime will find that one. Gecko, the lone member, that is Scout, and he's been devastating here today, but he's got an uphill battle.
Yeah, this is going to take a lot from him. It's a 1v3. If anybody can do it, it's going to be him. He's shown up and shown out all day today. But this is an uphill battle.
Uphill battle. Not the easiest spot to be in, but
no.
That's how those greats are molded here, and Scout certainly has been playing phenomenally well here for Battlegrounds thus far. Still has 30 seconds to work with. Ideally would like to find at least 1 pick before looking to find that plant.
Yes, they're going to have to get that 1 pick if they're going to try to make a go at it. But look, I would rotate. That's right. Not enough time in the world.
Match point.
Yeah, and unfortunately the spike was actually down on the site as well, so you would have had to kind of push up there. And so we find Prairie at match point. Battleground certainly capable of bringing this one back, but you got to believe Prairie with 5 opportunities now to close this out, that certainly the cards look to be aligned in their favor.
Yeah, and it's a back-to-back-to-back victory for Prairie right now. So they're on a bit of a run. They're on a bit of a tear. They're doing exactly what they want to do without a care in the world. Like you said, they've got 5 games to win it. They are in it right now. They can play patient. They really can. Just take your time, do what you do, and you're going to grab a win.
Yeah, I mean, you can just relax and have fun at this point. So we'll see if they're able to solidify this dub here in their home opener. Again, their first season in the Valorant side of things. Former Overwatch 2 champions, and maybe looking to extend that trophy case a bit here.
And the way that we're seeing them play, they're doing quite well. There's no ring rust. There is no... I can't wait to see if they hit that corner. There's no getting stuck under the lights here. They know what they're doing, and they're playing as a team, and they're doing a great job. I can't wait to see what the season holds for them, and can't wait to see what Battleground has up their sleeve as well, because although they didn't make the playoffs last season, they are playing well against Prairie today.
Yeah, I mean, we see him, you know, again, you talked about it earlier, this never say never attitude. They continue to come out here and fight with grit and determination, and you know, they just, even only needing 1 round here for Prairie, we see him come out here and now potentially looking to get a flawless round of their own.
And wouldn't that be a kick in the pants?
Battleground has all pulled off here as well. Yeah. So Battleground, because of their economy, says, hey, let's just save the 2 rifles that we have. A 2v5 retake is not really where we want to be. And so if they did push out a little bit more towards spawn, they potentially could find an exit frag here or 2, but just kind of holding true here to where they're at the moment.
Well, it was a good spike drop, and you know, the spike detonated, and they got it done. And I like the fact that they pulled away and just said, "Hey, if you want to make it go, have fun. We're gonna keep our guns, and we're gonna move on to the next round." And you know, Battleground got it done right there. Prairie was like, "Hey, we're good. We're good.
We'll be all right. Everything's fine.
We'll see you the next round. We got it. All right, sure."
And they are. They're all still able to have that full buy. Now, the economy for everybody but one player has really kind of drifted away. So if Battleground can find a way to win this round, they could potentially put one more on the board in succession. But again, Prairie has 4 opportunities here to close this out. And C6 has the op as well, the one-hitter quitter. You don't want to be on the other side of that. And speaking of guns, you don't want to be on the other side. There's an Odin as well. But King Kitty lurking in the corner will find a 2-piece.
They got the refrag, though, and we are looking at a 3v3 right now. It is 12-8. Currently, Prairie in control, but Battleground not saying no. They will not go away. They planted.
Enemy remaining. Refreshing.
Just like that. Only one member here. Haven does find the shot. He gets the second. He's got to run it back here as well, but it's immediately eliminated. And now a game of cat and mouse. The blind goes out. It's a good one. C6 drops the up for the Vandal, gets the pick. And we'll have plenty of time to find that defusal. A great last stand here for Battleground High School, though. A phenomenal job by them here today. We often say, you know, there's no losers here. There's winners and learners. And I think the biggest thing for Battleground is just that composition. We saw 3 duelists here today. They would have fared much better with a Sentinel or 2. And so just some minor things to learn as we go forward. But all in all, they played a phenomenal game here today.
Now, just like my good friend Fatality says, there are 3 keys to winning in esports and gaming. Practice, practice, practice. So you know what? Battleground saw what they did today and what they can do better. They'll be able to go back, take a look at this tape, and understand that they probably put themselves behind the 8 ball, so to speak, with that lineup. But you know what? They're going to hear you, Hot Sauce, and they're going to say, hold on a second. Maybe we do this a little bit differently the next time. But as far as Prairie getting involved, and they were on top of it. They came out strong. They finished strong. In the middle, there was a little bit of a teeter-totter battle of death there, little ping-pong battle to the end, but they were able to stick with it. And I love the fact that Battleground had the never say die attitude. Both of these teams are going to look good this season. I see Battleground possibly making those playoffs, even though they didn't last year. And Prairie is going to be a team to reckon with this year if they keep up playing the way that we saw them play today.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with King and Queen Kitty out there, Kitty squared, it was all cat scratch fever. I think Queen had 29, King had 20 as well. And so luckily they were able to get the job done before they had to get that player out of there as well. We thought maybe they were going to be playing with a player down, but they were able to get that dub before that time contingency came into play. So again, hats off to them. But yeah, I would be looking out for Battleground. I think we're going to see a really hungry team bounce back next week with some proper adjustments and some nice competition.
Yeah, they're only going to get better, and that's the thing is we're talking about the first game of the season. There's jitters. There's just getting to know your teammates because some of your teammates aren't the same teammates that you had last season because maybe they graduated or have moved on to whatever they're doing now. Here's the deal. Don't let it get you down. Keep your head up. Keep your head on straight and understand, like Hot Sauce said, this is a learning experience. And the only way you lose from losing is if you don't learn anything. So make sure you get in there, take the team, get in there, make some s'mores, have a Mountain Dew Code Red and some chicken nuggies, and figure out what you need to do for the next time. Because I can't wait to see the Battleground get around.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. You know, and if you're like me, sometimes I just blame my PC, and sometimes you just need a better PC, which is all the more reason we should give a shout out and a thank you to Seattle-built PCs for their continued support over here at WSSEA. Seattle-built PCs are the custom PC builders trusted by the pros since 2020, and they've been crafting incredible rigs for world-famous esports players and content creators around the world. So we want to make sure that we give them a shout-out. Seattle-built wants to work with you to create that perfect PC for your needs. So whenever you're ready, be sure to give them a shout-out and check out Seattle-built PCs at seattlebuilt.com.
I got to go get myself a Seattle-built PC because I could use a little bit more power as well. Can't we all? Well, I do want to give a big shout out to our production team. They always make us look good, Hot Sauce. And let's be honest, with a guy like me, it takes a lot to make me look good, but they do the job. And if it wasn't for all you back there in production behind the camera, we wouldn't be able to do our jobs up here. There's only 2 of us on camera, but there are plenty of people working hard for you and for us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, they always make our job easy. We get to just come out here and look pretty and shout at the mic, but they're back there pressing all the important buttons. So huge shout out to everybody at LandFest, Connie, Jaden, Taylor for producing that show. The observing as well is not an easy task in a game of Valorant. So again, a phenomenal job all the way around. Huge shout out to Zotac Gaming, LandFest, and Seattle Built PCs. It was a short but sweet night. But there's action here at WSSEA week in, week out. They've got all kinds of different titles, so make sure you click that follow button below as well. But as always, we appreciate everybody hanging out in chat here tonight. Your support means the world to us. And with that, we are going to say goodnight. My name is Hot Sauce. That legend over there is Logan. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. We hope you have a wonderful evening as well. Take care. Good night.